Hey everybody, welcome to Lab 3. This one's on your birthday sky. Sounds awfully good. The cake looks awfully good too. All this is you're going to be asked a few questions about what the sky was like on your birthday. And you're going to be given some software here, Stellarium, to actually answer the questions. It shouldn't take too long, and this is going to be a brief video too. Okay, here's the beginning of the lab, just talking about the intro. And here it introduces the idea, stellarium.org. That's where you're going to get the Stellarium from. You can download it for free. We're going to go to, using this, we're going to go to as close as we can to where you were born. Now, if you were born in New York City, that's no problem, or Atlanta or Miami. But if you're born in a small town, you'll have to choose a town that's close, that's on their list. And I'll show you what I mean in a second. You're going to also be looking at what the sky was doing then. That's basically what all this is about. Let me go ahead and show this to you. This is the Stellarium User's Guide. I took a look at it. It just tells you everything there's to know about Stellarium. I think it's not likely to be needed for you because the instructions in the lab are pretty straightforward and they cover just about everything. I did this lab. I didn't have any trouble with it. If you have a touch screen laptop or computer, that'll make it even easier, but I mean the instructions are straightforward. Just use the arrows to move around and you'll find everything they ask for. So this is there if you need it, but you probably won't. Now here's something you will need. This is the location window. This is what it looks like inside Stellarium sometimes. We're looking at a twilight view here. Anyway, this is called the location window. There it is right there. It'll pop up just like that. What you're going to do with it is try to pinpoint the city where you were born. You're going to go over here, and this is the U.S. You're going to, if you're born in the U.S., you'll click on that. There'll be a list of towns, cities, and you can pick one. I picked Grand Rapids. You can still see it. That's a little town in Michigan that's close to where I was born. And then you've got the longitude and latitude and all the other information about it, and you'll record that. And that's all there really is to it, at least that part of it. Here's something you're going to use all the time. Oh, I forgot to tell you. Where you're going to find this, by the way, if you, in the real Stellarium, if you hover your cursor over in the lower left corner, both the location window and the daytime window, and they have a search command and some other things over here will appear, and you can click on whatever you want. But you're going to be wanting to click on the date time window because this thing right here is what you're going to use to go back to your the moment you were born, whatever year that was. Probably wasn't 2020, but and you'll be able to manipulate the time over here as well. And then you can, the sky will respond to whatever time and date you tell it, just like a real planetarium. This is an online planetarium. Now notice, and this thing you're going to be using the whole time, so you probably want to put it as the instructions suggest in the upper right where it's handy. Notice all this text over here. I don't remember doing this, but when I was trying this out, just to make sure it worked, I clicked on something. If you click on any of the stars that appear, I'll show you what I mean, or planets, or you name it, asteroids, whatever shows up here, there'll be a whole bunch of interesting data that pops up over here. It's actually fun. And we'll see, you can actually take tours like that yourself whenever you're up for it. So that's basically what we're doing here. Now here's what the planetarium-like effect is. This is the ecliptic right here, by the way. Nice thing about the ecliptic is that the planets, well, the sun is always on the ecliptic somewhere. And so if you're looking for the sun, you can just follow the ecliptic. It'll take you right to it eventually. The planets are generally, with the exception of Pluto, quite close to the ecliptic. So it's a nice roadmap to have. Notice there's some numbers down here. This is really just telling you what you already know, where you are, what time it is, and so forth. And it's over in the lower left where these functions, where these windows that you can click on will actually pop up. And here you can actually see that this is an object that I accidentally, probably not accidentally, I was just curious, was clicking on it. It's addictive. Once you click on one star, you want to click on them all and see who's actually there. But that's all there is to it. That's what it looks like. And yeah, here's the summary. We're almost done. I just wanted you to see what this would look like so you'd know it when you run into it. you're going to be going to two websites besides Stellarium, and that is, one has to do with your horoscope, because I think most of you probably know your horoscope, what sign you were born under, but if you don't, you can look it up. That'll be one of the questions on here. And the other one is a moon website, where you're going to be looking up the status of the moon when you were born. In other words, what was the lunar phase? And we've talked about this in the other class a little bit, but you can always go into the text or into one of my other videos to look it up and see what those phases are. And it'll give you, you won't have to figure this out, it'll give you the percent visible of the phase. And in the so-called age of the moon is simply the days past new. That's what the quote-unquote age is. So the age of the moon goes from 0 to 28, because that's 4 weeks. Okay, and remember this, when you're done, this has to be uploaded and filed to Canvas just like it would any other document you're going to hand in. And I'm trying to think, the only difficulty, the instructions are explicit, the only difficulty you might have is moving around in Stellarium, but the instructions are so good, I don't think you'll have any problem at all. If you do, you know who to call. Okay, so have fun, and I'll see you soon.